more frustrated overall. Nice amount of plasma. But 0-4 still hasn't been controlling a lot of the megas here, or at least as far as timing goes. I mean, Circa's been able to get away with 2 of the 6 of them. A very nice rocket float indeed, followed up finally by 0-4. Very nice rail. That leaves 0-4 at 16 health, but mid should be completely open for him. Almost. Should have Mega coming up in a few more seconds. But most of the play here is for inside mid. 2 rails from 0-4 is to be leaving that open, and now he's looking for the opportunity. Interesting play there. 0-4 just kind of waiting it out when he doesn't have the health. In fact, was that another Mega taken away by... No, not quite. We're still looking for Mega to come back up. Lost my own timing, but 0-4, 31-9. With just about 3 minutes left on the clock, we already have Circa very, very weakened at this point. Can't quite afford to come back through the teleporter, but he does so anyway. A clear sign that he's starting to have a bit of fatigue, and hopefully one that he can recover from before the next map. 0-4 a little bit weak here, but he's covering all of his bases, stealing away yellow armor, and oh, beautiful rail shot off of the teleporter is going to be able to be a very, very strong one for yet another frag, and yet more control on the mid of the map. More armor gleaned here. He hasn't really been scouting around for health too much. But there we finally have Mega coming back up. Yeah, I was off by about 30 seconds, which just goes to show that neither of these guys have been focusing on Mega enough to have just really clear timing on it. So where we're about 30 seconds off on it. 35-9 though, 12 minutes 40 seconds off the clock. Just a couple more here, and we'll have 0-4 taking away T4 from Circa. Second map, I'm not quite sure what that was. But 0-4 has actually lost sight of where Circa is for the moment. But Circa's actually making an ambush happen, and actually we saw a few of those earlier in the match. And even though they didn't quite net the frags, 0-4 ended up hurting every single time from them, for better or worse. And now we finally see Circa trying to pull a little bit more together, but it's way too late at this point. I would actually argue that if Circa had actually been a bit more consistent with those ambushes, his first frag would have come a hell of a lot earlier, and he would have been able to slow this thing down quite a bit, giving him a better chance at the last 5 minutes. But 1 minute 30 seconds left here. .04 left a little bit weak, but he's definitely very confident with that railgun. He's actually brought his accuracy up to 33%. Not that Circa is, you know, too low behind him or even that many hits behind him. It's a difference of about 8 rail hits. And so again, just looking at the stats, yes, we have, you know, nearly equivalent rail hits and accuracy between 0-4 and Circa. Thing is, 0-4 has been having a much wider variety of weapons for his frag so far. While we've seen, you know, Circa rock one rocket frag and one MG frag. On the other hand, you know, just not a lot of usage of the shotgun at all. Mega picked up by 0-4. He's actually got pretty good timing on it this time. But final 20 seconds here on T4 is going to leave us with about 40-9, 0-4's favor. Maybe a couple more. No, maybe one more for Circa. Just a little bit more dignity on his end for this map. A very nice rocket shot in midair as well, but 0-4 getting in the MG shots to be turning this thing into 41-10 final score. So we're going to be moving into the next map. I got pizza in the microwave. Gonna be looking for that for show. So we saw a lot of good runs there by Circa actually, but for the bulk of it, he was playing extremely predictable into 0-4's hands. Here we go on ZTN though.
And I'm gonna go continue enjoying my homemade burgers. God, my wife.
Ooh, very nice. Yes.
These are really good burgers, by the way.
But we have 0-4 and Circa actually meeting up on top of the shotgun platform. Circa's gonna be taken on down 0-4 having the red armor at the end of that will be wasting no time in sealing together a spawn frag. But here comes Circa diving in for yellow armor, but you could see 0-4 already anticipating that and already had his LG out by the time Circa was even thinking about diving in for that yellow armor. Yikes. And yeah, Circa's major problem at that first map was just rushing into 0-4's arms way too much, like he was looking for a hug, like he was looking for loving support, and instead all he got was a rocket up the ass. That is something that has got to change if Circa wants to pull something together here. Oh, and LG trained on Circa all the way down. It's going to make it 5-0. 1 minute into this. 1 minute and we're 5 up on ZTN. And that's not really saying more about 0-4. I think that actually says more about Circa at this point. There's no reason you really need to give up 5 frags so early in the map. And 0-4 is just going to go around, collect a bit more. 50 health will be available. That'll set him back up at 100, 150 just about. Dropping back down. And he's actually looking for Circa right now. He's actually looking more for frags, not too concerned about the stack. He's gotten almost everything. He's got almost a complete lockdown. He's been avoiding plasma for just a little bit of time. That's going to let Circa get away with that, but enough time has elapsed. Red armor is going to be back up. Circa coming in for the attack, but 0-4 has already got the grab, and he's already got the move down to Mega Health. So 0-4 making a move to grab yellow armor first is going to be keeping Circa even off of that. So Circa is necessarily very, very weak right now. Yeah, Circa didn't have a lot to bring to that fight. And actually, the bulk of these fights do not need to be happening for Circa. Actually, I know the camera's going to remain on 0-4, but Circa's spawning mid-map. He's going to be grabbing a railgun and then rushing forward as he hears 0-4 moving across to Mega Health. And that really comes down to a decision point. I mean, you can kind of keep back and see if you can get the pot shot off, and then you can try to control red armor at that point from the high point of the map, but rushing in at that point, 0-4 was able to really lay in the pain. What was that? Impressive. Wow. I have no idea who that was, but he was looking for, that was rude actually, in MM1, asking someone to forfeit so that they could get on. That's not nice. Screw that. But 0-4 is unperturbed. But I think Circa's been perturbed for quite a long while, actually. Here comes the rocket jump. It's going to be finding Circa actually grabbing the 5 health pickups and not leaving him any options whatsoever. This is going to be 0-4 just rolling on top of Circa for a few more minutes. 11-0, almost 4 minutes in. God bless pizza. Buy pizza last night, it'll last me until dinner tonight. Oh, hell yeah. Who needs a wife? No, I do. Oh, but that is going to be a -1 for Circa right now. It's going to be a major problem for him, not only as far as, well, losing out on another frag, but also just more morale. I mean, he was already kind of mentally flustered as it was. This is not going to help. 0-4, very nice dodge of that rocket. Takes a bit more damage coming into yellow armor. But he's going to be able to stack back up to 100 and only a little bit of armor, but oh my god, look at that LG. Absolutely perfect. And right now, only about 42% accuracy on the railgun for 0-4. 34% LG, though. As he's netted 9 of his 13 frags with that at this point. We're almost through the first third, and Circa is not looking good at all. I mean, this was actually a map that Circa had a strong potential to slow things down a lot and prevent himself from getting fragged so many times, but he's been rushing into a lot of these situations, really unwarranted. But oh, look at this, 0-4 finally loses out on Mega Health. He didn't quite have the timing on it, and here comes Circa to grab Mega and grab a frag. bringing himself back up to 0, but what can he do to respond off of this? He's got one rail, but looking down for the other one. Hello! 04 is going to be turning that right back around on it. Red Armor is going to be getting a little bit dusty, but 04 is going to be able to muscle his way back in there, get the grab, and secure himself at 15 points up. 15 frags on ZTN. And we're barely over 1/3 into this. Oh, finally, we see Circa doing a bit of the trap. I mean, we saw the potential for that at T4, even though it's a map where your ability to kind of ambush somebody is, well, limited. Here on Z4, on ZTN, there's a lot more opportunities for it, but it's taken Circa 6 minutes and 17 frags to figure that out. And he's not quite going to be getting the rail on the exit of Red Armor, but he is going to be able to keep 04 up there long enough in order to secure Mega Health for himself. He leaves up Portal Yellow Armor, though. And he's completely lost out. Now 04 is going to be using that Portal Yellow Armor for himself, and Circa's not going to get anything out of this. Circa is leaving up items now that he doesn't need to be. But he's keeping himself in the game at the very least. And not quitting out. I mean, I gotta admire that. I mean, I would not be so quick to be throwing away a match against 04 myself. But 7 minutes into this, we're almost halfway through this. And 04 is looking very, very strong. Now, he's taken a bit of damage. And he's walked maybe into some silly scenarios. And one can only hope that this is, you know, 04 playing against the likes of Circa. And not the same kind of play that we'll see against, you know, Rafa or CZM if it comes to that. But it will be CZM coming up in the semifinals. And hopefully 04 can kind of tighten things down just a little bit before coming into that match. Because CZM is definitely looking to be, if not at the top of his game, he's definitely looking like he's shaking a lot of the rest off. And finally we have, oh wow, we actually saw Circa being hurt out by 04. 04 still rushing into that situation, very, very low on health right now. Mega's going to be naded out from both sides. 04 picking up 10 health. 10 health is what he wants out of this before coming back in. Very risky play. One that I hope that he's not willing to make against a player like CZM. Very nice rail there by Circa though, and he's actually going to be able to ride this for a little bit longer. Red Armor is going to be coming up in a few more seconds, and Circa isn't quite in position for it. Even coming up the Shard stairway, it's not going to be the best bet. Actually, 04 has already been and gone with Red Armor. So Circa, even for getting the frag, was not able to convert that to control. And now up on the shotgun catwalk, he's going to take a lot of LG. He's got to leave this, and his hesitation to leave it worries me. Just because it was like, okay, I'm not going to be getting anything out of this fight, but just in case he stops firing and I can shoot a little bit too, I'm going to keep on pushing in for this. 04 muscling his way up the plasma room jump pad, will be coming back in to do a load of damage, surprisingly, even after eating a couple rockets. So we're almost through the second third of this. About 5 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. 24-3, which is a fairly wide margin for a ZTN, even with 04 in the seat. And again, 04 taking full advantage of the spawn system here. And is going to be able to find Circa back up on top. Circa's going to try to rush in for a drop down gauntlet. Won't quite be happening though. 5 minutes left on the clock. And actually, yeah, 04 is not taking this too seriously. He's actually starting to faff about quite a bit. So we're well into garbage time, and even 0-4 is starting